Okay, this will be your 7th CSS3 tutorial, and we will be continuing under the backgrounds and borders module of the CSS3 specification, and we will be looking at the CSS3 box shadow property today. Okay, so the box shadow property, like the name implies, adds a box shadow to an element on the page. Okay, so let's go ahead and create an div element here. Let's give it an ID of box. And also let's give this box a quick style. So let's say width, let's say 200 pixels. Let's give it a height. The height will be 200 pixels as well. And let's give it a border, B-O-R-D-E-R, border, 1 pixel solid. And let's make it gray. And let's preview this element in the browser right here. As you can see here, we have our div element right here. Now the box shadow property name would be box shadow, and it takes a series of values. The first value, which is optional, is the inset value. Now the inset value is not a digit, it's actually a keyword, which is inset. Now it's optional, so if we put in the inset value, if we put in the keyword inset, then the shadow will be shown inside of the element. However, if we don't use the inset keyword, then the shadow will be shown outside of the element. It also takes the horizontal value and the vertical value. If we want the shadow, then these two we need to put in the horizontal and vertical, and these are the Y and X axis values. Now the horizontal value will show the shadow towards the left or towards the right, and the vertical value will show the shadow upwards or downwards. The box shadow property also takes a blur radius, and also, as you know, this blur radius value determines how blurred the shadow is, and the box shadow property also takes a spread value. Now the spread value determines how spread the element, the shadow is. So how far away it is from the box, that's the spread value. So let's put in some actual values to see how this looks. Okay, first of all, we're going to use the inset keyword, right? We're going to show it the element inside of we're going to show the shadow inside of the element. So we're going to say inset, and let's make it 4 pixels for the horizontal value, and we're going to make it 4 pixels as well for the vertical value, and we're going to give it a color of gray. I don't know why I always use this gray color. Okay, inset. Right, so the shadow is shown inside of the element. However, if we don't use the inset, then the shadow will be shown outside of the element right here. Okay, that's without the inset keyword. Let's look at the blur radius. So let's give this element a blur radius of 3 pixels, and watch what happens. As you can see here, the shadow becomes a little more blurred. Okay. That's the blur radius. We gave it a blur radius of 3 pixels. Now we could also give it a spread. Let's say a spread of 5 pixels. Watch what happens. As you can see here, the shadow becomes wider on that element. Now we could also include negative values for the horizontal and vertical as well. So let's remove the spread. And let's give the horizontal value a negative value. Let's say -4. Control S to save. And as you can see here, the horizontal value is shifted to the opposite side, the negative side. Or we can say, let's give the vertical value a negative. And watch what happens. As you can see here, the shadow is sent towards the top of the element. We could also give multiple shadow value. So we could separate it by a comma, and we could say let's give a negative 4 pixels, and let's give a positive 4 pixels for the horizontal, the negative for the horizontal and positive for the vertical. Let's give it a blur radius of 3 pixels, and let's give it a color. Let's give it the same color, gray. Control S to save it, and as you can see, we have this box. We have multiple shadows on this element. We could also, let's do something else that's a little interesting. We could give the horizontal 0. Let's give the vertical 0, And let's give a blur radius of 3 pixels and a color of gray. Okay, and just Control S to save. And as you can see here, we have a shadow all the way, or it seems like the shadow is all the way around the element. Even if we move the border, right? Control S, and let's make the shadow a little thicker. Let's make it 5 pixels. Control S to save it. And as you can see here, we still have that shadow all the way around the element right here. That's the blur radius. We can also give it a spread. Let's say 5 pixels. Control S to save. And as you can see, the shadow is even thicker. Okay. So this is the 7th CSS3 tutorial, and in this tutorial we covered the CSS3 box shadow, adding shadows to HTML elements. Okay, so thank you for watching this tutorial, and do ensure that you subscribe, and I will see you in further tutorials. Thank you.